Ahead of Dishonored 2's November the 11th release date, Bethesda have recommended that people go back and check out Dishonored 1's DLC, being the Knife of Dunwall and the Brigmore Witches, as it helps kind of bridge the arc between the two games. Well, we actually reviewed The Knife of Dunwall way back in 2013, so we're going to revisit it while showing you some of the definitive edition footage to kind of give you a bit of a feel for what Dishonored 1 is all about and how it could link into Dishonored 2. So you played Daud, who's one of the more memorable antagonists in recent memory, and his confrontations with Corvo in Dishonored 1 made for some excellent exchanges, but also presented a lot of questions about his character. In The Knife of Dunwall, we get to learn a lot more about Daud's character, his motivations, his aspirations, but most importantly for the context of the story, the consequences of his actions. So the voice actor Michael Madsen has returned for the DLC, and he offers a unique perspective on the cloak and dagger steampunk world of Dishonored. Unlike Corvo, Daud is far from a mute. From the very beginning we learn a lot about his tactics and the cruel intentions that run through his mind. But something we only caught hints and traces of in Dishonored, we learn more about the remorse burning away inside of Daud. He regrets some of his actions, and from the opening sequence onward you can tell that they have fundamentally changed him. Knife of Dunwall's beginning almost mirrors Dishonored, only we observe it through the eyes of Daud. He executes the Empress in cold blood, and we are perversely forced to watch her bleed out and die from his perspective. The contrast between the stories is significant, because rather than seeing the protagonist rot out in a dungeon cell from an accusation, Daud begins to feel the weight of guilt. He quickly comes to question his actions and the events that have been set in motion because of them. It's from this point that the outsider approaches and puts him on a quest for redemption. And this is just one of the many differences the Knife of Dunwall offers. Inherently, the game plays the same way. Daud can blink between locations, he can creep in the shadows and knife an enemy from behind, assign runes and bone charms to enhance and enable abilities, but Daud does have several new abilities of his own, some of which are variations on a current theme, and some are completely different. For instance, Daud can summon a group of assassins to fight for him. His version of Blink also differs from Corvo and can actually slow down time as well. Daud also has new gadgets such as choke gas and arc mines. Arc mines can actually attach themselves to enemies, obliterating them into ashes. Meanwhile, choke gas is disorienting and will temporarily daze foes, which you can sneak past them. Despite the changes, Daud and Corvo play almost exactly the same way, but Daud's narrative accompaniment definitely helped carve out a distinct identity. But yet from a gameplay perspective, these assassins are pretty much the same. Daud does get slightly more elevation on his jumps and seems a tad more resistant to punishment, but on the whole there's not much of a difference. This DLC also introduced a new favour system, and in between missions players are presented with a shop screen where they can increase capacity of ammunition, they can increase the range of their weapons, but also improve the accuracy and capability of those weapons. And attached to this is a favours tab which allows players to spend money and have assassins assist Daud in the mission. If you pay a fee, they'll leave runes nearby as well. They'll also write safe combinations down in secluded areas and even place destructive material near hordes of enemies, making it easier to wipe out a whole group in one swift motion. The favour system also works perfectly in the Dishonored world and really does change the way a mission plays out. There are even new enemies to fight against, and the opening mission has a real Diablo-esque feel to it as you creep and crawl and kill this graphic slaughterhouse, fighting against spin-saw-wielding goons as well as henchmen with ill intent. Overall, the Knife of Dunwall had 3 big missions for players to wade through, each one with a main target at the end of it. And as with Dishonored, players can choose how they want to neutralise that target. For instance, in one mission you can stash away the criminal in a crate, you can keep electrocuting him in a torture chair, or you can just simply stab him through the neck. The final mission, however, will play out depending on Daud's chaos level, and this will certainly cause people to play the DLC in different ways and does encourage multiple playthroughs. On the whole, Knife of Dunwall handles exceedingly well. It has an engaging narrative, there are lots of secrets to find, it expands the worlds even further, and there are opportunities for multiple playthroughs. So on the whole, it had an engaging narrative, exciting new abilities, and there was variance enough for multiple playthroughs. It could have been slightly longer, and Cord and Dorvo almost played too similarly, so there could have been slightly more differentiation. But on the whole, it was an astonishing achievement, great value for money, and interesting narrative twists and turns which really added and contributed to the Dishonored narrative, and it's a real fine example of DLC done right. As I said, we're going to check out the Brigmore Witches in a future video. If you're looking forward to Dishonored 2, these games are definitely worth playing through as they will give you a real feel for what's to come. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let us know what you think about the Dishonored games, and we will see you next time.